Oh my, comparisons. Shall we talk about this? Because let me just get a little bit comfortable. Comparison. It's something that is talked about, but not enough. I don't feel like people really understand what comparison does, first of all, and how it can really lead to a destructive life. Comparing yourself to someone else and their journey, how successful they are, how beautiful they are, maybe how they manage their own life, how they have it put together, and you go into this frame of how can I be more like them? How can I maybe change my personality to be like them? Back in the days when I used to be a little girl, there were moments where I didn't necessarily reflect or know why I was comparing. However, there was a part of me that I truly wanted to let out and let it express itself. And I just wanted to be myself, but I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what was acceptable. I didn't know how people would perceive me. I was really scared, is all you can say. And I was in this world of, what do I need to wear? What do I need to be like? And I was shaping myself in a way so I am approved of, so I get validation from other people. Which, back in that time, it wasn't authentic, right? And because I don't really know what that is like, I didn't know anything about personal development, anything about standing up for myself, anything about just being who I am. And so I would walk down the streets and I would be this reserved girl, really introverted. However, I still describe myself as an introvert, but I'm also communicative, and I'm good with people, and yes, I feel anxious, and yes, I do have shaky hands when I'm meeting somebody new. Yes, I do have maybe deep breaths or feeling these butterflies in my stomach. It's all normal, and it happens to every single one of us. But there's a difference when you are aware that you're feeling anxious, but you still do that thing. So while I was in my headspace thinking, what is everybody thinking of me? What is everyone talking to me about? I'm so scared. I would get even really scared that people are gossiping about me, because that spoke to me that I can't stand up for myself. And even if I did stand up, I wouldn't, people would be against me, and I wouldn't get no friends or no recognition, and I wouldn't really have a space to fit in or be in. That really took a toll on me. And for a while, I was reflecting on that, and I was just going into this loop of how can I change myself and be like everybody else, which was very, very, very awful. And it was run by so many things, and you see nowadays, it's just so much things happening in the world that we see everything online. We think how real it is, when it's really not. We don't quite know what behind the scenes is like. We just see a photo, and we have so many different thoughts and opinions and comparisons, and then we end up feeling like shit about ourselves. And I've got into this habit of noticing when I'm beginning to feel something out of someone's content, or I stop doing that, and I just pause there, and I'm like, is this really for my own benefit? Because most of the time when I'm using social media, it's really my work. Like, I post videos, I share content like I do here. So, I just feel like I get exhausted when it's more than that, when I'm kind of consuming. So I got into a habit of, I'm just going to post whatever, I'm going to share whatever and just leave, right? Because that's not my real life anyways. I just am there to share resources, to share something educational, something beneficial out there, or what I'm inspired to share, whether it was something during my day or something I've done or something that I think has an impact or has had an impact on me that I really want to share it with other people. That's my purpose. And so going back to that little girl, right? So, she would feel shy and she would feel anxious, and really, I think I was really judging myself for being that girl, for feeling anxious, for having, shaky hands, or having to run to the bathroom, because that's how I take my moment there. If I'm feeling like I'm overwhelmed by a crowd or a group of people, and I wasn't good at all of that, right? Like, even speaking to people and speaking in front of a camera, that's something that was a no. It was just like a red line for me, that this is something I would never do. And I placed that to be my label, and I said to myself, if I'm shy and I'm nervous, that means, or that equals to me being shy my whole life, and that I cannot speak with people, and I cannot build relationships. That was kind of my story. It was something that was running in my head the whole time, while I wasn't really conscious and aware of it. There was a time where it hit me. I was like, you know what, like, am I really going to live my life not speaking with people because I feel like I'm shy? And while it's true that I was really nervous and I had anxiety and had really bad insecurities about who I am, I hated the way I look, I didn't like my body, I had insecurities around so much things, I had shame, and just exposing myself, talking to myself, having realizations and admitting that I'm this person and that maybe I got jealous of something or somebody, and it would completely shut down. So if you are someone who resonates with it, there's nothing wrong with you. First of all, first step in healing is to actually validate and see what's happening in your life, so that you can go read about it, go educate yourself, talk to people. If you're someone who's anxious, it's hard for you to talk to people, start small. Maybe you can speak to someone online through a group of, I don't know. Okay, so when I say online, we should all be careful who we speak with. At the same time, if you're in a group, like a study group or a part of a course or a program, you can look at those people and you can see, like, are they trustworthy? Can I talk to them? And mind you, don't be really close and personal with the person you're talking with, because you can't really fully trust someone just from the first meet, right? You need to build rapport, you need to feel comfortable, you notice how your body feels around that person, you notice your body language, your tone of voice. If you started to lower yourself in a conversation, or feeling like hold back, like you feel like you're holding back yourself, and like there's a thought or voice that comes up of like, I cannot really fully trust this person just yet, I think I need time and space to figure that relationship, right? Or that friendship, or that, conversation. I think the most helpful thing is just giving, yourselves the space to just explore, but knowing that you're the one who's responsible to change. If you really want to change something in your life, stop being critical of others. Stop comparing. Can we just do that? And stop looking at faults. Stop looking at all the things that you don't have, or all the things that other people have that you can't have. Everyone comes in this life for something, in recognition of something in them. If I, let's say, didn't step in, didn't read, didn't study myself for 24 years, I wouldn't be here on camera. Or I wouldn't really be this person that you see, which I really feared seeing. And I was just afraid to see this part of me because, there was a shame of, why does it even matter? And it was really coming from an insecure place of, what do I have to say anyways? Everybody's talking, or everybody has something. But the moment that I said, you know what? That's great. Everyone has something to share. And going from someone who was a consumer and maybe didn't spend her energy and time towards things that she's passionate about, to someone who creates from something. And if I think that I am, it's not me, I wouldn't post it, or I wouldn't even say that word, or I wouldn't give that advice because it's not coming from myself. It's a voice that I've heard for so long that it has embedded in me, and it has a part, or it has a place in my heart that this is where I'm speaking from. Is it really the truth of who I am? If the answer is no, then I would tap into that truth. How do you tap into that truth? You might be questioning and thinking. Simply being silent. Do you go on dates with yourself? Do you go on walks with yourself? Do you have a moment, 10 minutes a day, where you literally don't do anything? You don't listen to anything, you don't read, you don't talk to anybody. You're just there, just with your body, your presence. How much can the world heal if we did that 10 minutes every single day? I'm sure you have 10 minutes of your day to do just that. I mean, not quite literally just that, but instead of picking up the phone or looking at other people's lives. So my question to you would be, why would you want to live someone else's life? Why are you observing and seeing what somebody else is doing and making you feel, and letting yourself feel that void in your life? And, I'm guilty of it, right? So we all have our days where maybe we're not productive. And these are the days when you should remind yourself that it's okay to be unproductive. At the same time, on the days where you are productive and you feel like you're getting sucked into the world and the news, I don't listen to news. I just feel like it's so negative, and that's my boundary. Like, it's something that I'm like, I'd rather create and spend my time and energy towards something that is of my growth, something of benefit, something that I can learn from, whether it was related to my health, my career, how to enhance my relationships, to get to know more people, to speak to people. Maybe there's a skill that I need to improve. How can I learn it? There's courses, there's programs, so much education and resources we have just right there at our fingertips. Like, it's not that hard. But what most people struggle with is they say, oh, I don't have the time, or oh, I'm busy working, or oh, but when you come back from work, what do? You're probably on your phone scrolling, or you're doing something that is not fueling your soul. When have we become disconnected with the source? When have we become disconnected with things that truly matter to us? And while I'm not a perfect human being, I feel like I'm living life at my fullest. There could be room for improvement all the time. during that phase though, I'm not going to be hard on myself and compare myself. While I had those days where maybe I would see someone, I would see a girl and be like, oh, she has it all. Wow, that's amazing. We all do that. It's normal. Just part of life, part of being human, that we feel every single emotion, that we experience everything else. But it really lies down to your intention and what you want to create. What do you want your life to look like? For me, I think the profound lesson or thing that I really tapped into is really trusting my intuition, trusting the guides I have within me, even if I don't know visually what that looks like. But there's something that when I'm making a decision, it either throws me to this or this, or it could be more than two choices that I have to decide from. So how does a fulfilling life look to you? Is it really being in bed and being unproductive, not really doing the things that really brings you passion in life? I feel like without passion, your soul is decaying. Without passion and something that is not, you're not doing it for recognition, you're not doing it for the likes, you're not doing it for fame. That's another story. You're doing it because it fuels you. There was something in you that is pulling you towards a force that is more powerful than how your mind perceives it to be. So it's not intellectual. You don't understand your purpose. Let me say that again. You don't understand your purpose. You live it, you feel it, you see it. It's an embodiment. It's a vision. It's a vision that was once real in part of your life, either before you were born, maybe in your ancestry line. So much things that are downloaded to us when we are present. But if we are distracted by our mind, thoughts, limitations, people's judgments, the media, the news, what people say is right, we are being pulled away in many ways to the truth of who we are. So let this reminder be, your purpose is not one. You're not meant to do just one thing on this earth. There's so much things that you are meant to do here, and it's limitless. How do you tap into that? Well, first you gotta open the door. You gotta open that space in your heart that's creative and that knows. Sometimes even the things that don't make sense is the right thing to do for your soul. Sometimes the things that your mind doesn't understand and you think that you're going crazy is the very thing you must follow. Disclaimer, I'm not talking about feel-good things, I'm not saying, oh, if my soul feels great to smoke, then I'm gonna smoke every day because I feel excited, or I love drinking, I'm gonna do that for my whole life because I feel called to do that. No. What I mean here is when we are raising our vibration, our energy, it desires something different than the normal. If I'm eating crap, if I'm listening to crap, if I'm surrounded by unhealthy environment, toxic people, guess what my energy is internally? bad habits, procrastination. I don't feel good. I don't look good. I don't feel energy to do anything that I really want. I make choices that are just abrupt. I don't reflect on my actions. I say things that hurt people. And then your inner world becomes chaotic. It's almost like when you have two glasses, one glass or two glasses have water, one has pure water in it, and the other glass has mud in it. That's your soul corrupted. The glass with the water and the mud is you when you're surrounded with unhealthy things in your life, when you're doing unhealthy things, when you're not eating well, you're not sleeping well, you're not thinking good thoughts, not positive, but I mean thoughts that really uplift you, whether it was even affirmations, whether it was tapping into your vision, whether it was really getting super clear and really intentional with the life that you want to create. And I get a little bit fired up talking about this because I know what it's like to live a life where there's no passion, there's no purpose, there's no impact, and that I'm just living my life like everybody else and thinking that I have nothing to contribute and nothing to offer and everybody is against me, or I'm living a life where it's very chaotic and it's very loud. What I mean by loud is that the noise is coming from people, from society, from what someone told you to do, or from a toxic relationship that I've been in for like 10 years or whatever it is, right? So don't be that glass with the mud. Be the pure water. Sure, things happen in life or you get bits of the mud in your water. But what are you going to do to take that mud out of the water? That's the big question here. To get up, to do the things that you say you want to do, to eat healthy, to challenge the negative thoughts that you're having, beliefs you've always believed about yourself and you never quite challenged it, or you never pause to even think whether it's true or not, or was it something that someone said and I just believed it my whole life and I'm choosing to hold on to it so dearly, hoping and praying that someone is going to come and save you and take you out of that. But you know what? Truth is, nobody will. Wow, this is why I like to get to the realness and the truths of what's actually happening than just fantasizing about my life, living a dream in my head. But to really get, head to head with the thing that I'm scared of, things that I really need to work through, things I'm insecure about, things that are not going well, things I'm not taking responsibility of. When we are facing reality on its head is when change happens drastically, and that change becomes the very thing that will move you forward and take you out of that muck. And that hole you're stuck in. What if you could do that? So I challenge you, after you watch this, take a paper and your pen out, or you can take a notebook. Start writing your life. Start rewriting your story. You can even visualize it so clearly. Put in more details and go so deep. Don't be afraid. Your intuition already knows. It knows what it needs. What you need is that you don't let the noise interfere with what you want. Not from ego, but what you truly want. If the world had nobody, if there was no one around, you had no one to please and impress, you just have you in the world, what would you do? There's nobody to impress in this world. No one to get validation from. You're in this world by yourself. What would you do because you just love it? What would you do because it just brings you joy? What would you do if you won't get paid for it? You just do it because it lights you up. And just write. Don't judge yourself while you write. Don't minimize. Don't let your thoughts take control. But just let yourself go with the stream and see what comes up. It can be negative, positive, anything. Because that there is also data for you to work on. Things maybe you're not aware of for your whole life, that today when you took that pen out and that paper, you realized, I'm going to change my life. It really starts from there. That's how I did it. And slowly I built up and climbed the ladder and enjoying the climb and not skipping a ladder. Even when I had days where I wasn't enjoying it, I didn't like the journey. It was difficult. But I had acceptance that if I want to get there, I needed to feel challenged, hard, shitty, giving up. But I didn't. Because I accepted that I must enjoy the journey if I want that. And that nothing external is going to make you feel enough and happy and fulfilled. But what you do every single day and the impact that you can have on someone can make a big difference. I hope you enjoyed this video and you have some thoughts and things to think about. You're welcome. I will talk to you in the next video.